Taurus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for April 25th through the 1st of May, 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. All right, so Taurus, this week we have a pretty straightforward week. We got Mercury going retrograde in your 12th house. There's a lot of energy in your 12th house, in fact, with the sun already there. So it's a good time for you guys to be getting that R&R, that rest and relaxation, maybe that meditative time out, maybe connecting to things in a bit more of a sensitive and tranquil way. So it's important because this is the part of the year for that. But with this retrograde now with Mercury, which will be on Thursday, by the way, he's going to go station on Thursday, starting to reflect in terms of maybe where you can have more peace in your life. Where can you have a bit more of that tranquility and willingness to let go? Because that's what the 12th house is. It's the house of letting go. And it's through that we find that peace of life, you know, and connect to the present moment and all that good stuff. So it's a good time to be thinking about that, maybe even re-examining your psyche, which is also 12th house, where you can understand more about yourself on that deep level, both spiritually and I guess psychologically as well, and even emotionally could be the case. But it all comes from that reflection. And I think it's just an excellent week for that. And so with that, your ruler is actually going to be going into the 12th. So I think it's really going to be emphasized by the end of the week once Venus makes her way into that 12th. So, you know, there's a shift of values. And I think there has been a lot of perhaps wanting to connect with your ideals or maybe with community. Now I think you're going to be shifting into wanting to maybe get some of that rest, get some of that R&R. And again, I think you can enjoy it quite a bit with your ruler there and also gain energy, gain prana by perhaps working behind the scenes a bit. So that's the strongest energies of the week for you guys. And it all starts here on Thursday in terms of the major aspects. One thing I want to say is that this week we are in the third quarter phase of this lunar cycle. So you guys did just have that awareness of your 5th house of self-expression just last week. So everything that came to you about self-expression or cultivated about your passions or interests or things that are close to your heart, now it's a good week for implementing that, integrating it, and putting that stuff in motion. And in terms of this Mercury retrograde, I do want to say that all week long, in fact, going into next week as well, Mercury is going to be sextiling that Chiron because he's slowing down and then he's going retrograde. So he's right on this contact point. So it's this healing week. And I think what's really being healed for you guys is that self-expression because Mercury does rule that 5th. And I think also your guys' sense of self-worth and your self-reliance is going through healing also. And even, again, that deep psyche and the spiritual self. So the key is that every time Mercury does go retrograde, it is a good time for you guys to be reflecting on your self-expression, on your passions and interests in life, as well as the financial material stuff. And again, maybe even your sense of self-reliance. So the key with this is to reflect on that. And I think you naturally will. I think for the next few weeks up until May 22nd, a good time for you guys to be rehashing either the financial material stuff, maybe even the self-expression, the creative stuff in your life, and learning more about that I think is going to be emphasized. And with Mercury in the 12th, it's really learning about it intuitively. Yeah, and maybe even listening to your dream space because your dreams could be quite strong for you at the moment, especially with this retrograde there. So that's going to be that Thursday shift with the healing energy. And then as we go into the weekend, the sun is going to be sextiling up to Neptune over the weekend. So it could be easy going in that sense. Again, maybe some of that R&R could go a long ways. And maybe even the work and the career stuff could be tranquil, a bit sensitive. You could be connecting on that more empathic level, which is good. There's a bit more of that relaxing energy in that sphere over the weekend. And if it's not work related, anything productive or anything public that you're involved with. And one thing too is, you know, the sun does naturally rule your home and family. So you could be finding over the weekend maybe a really good time for that stuff. Spending time at home, maybe with family, maybe connecting with yourself, with like your body, your health, that kind of stuff, I think can also be quite tranquil. So that's the aspects, very straightforward in terms of what's shifting this week. Definitely the emphasis of this retrograde, re-examining your spiritual self behind the scenes a bit. You're gaining energy. There's a lot of insight, I think, coming in at the moment. You can be gaining energy, working behind the scenes. Your ruler going into the 12th is really going to emphasize this as you approach the end of the week. And so connecting to your spiritual side and maybe meditating or whatever it might be can be very, very beneficial, very enjoyable and insightful. And then as we approach the weekend, a bit of that sensitive energy, maybe around that tranquil stuff, but maybe with home and family, and maybe with anything you might be doing productively. All right, so Taurus, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next week.